So I stink, and last period I forgot to stop my YouTube recording, which means I'm not on YouTube recording today. So they're going to be super mad to hear that you were far enough ahead to already have 13 done. And we're going to let 14 go. So you don't actually really have a math workshop today. But I still have it up on the screen if I want to remind you of some things. So if you want to make this list on the back, you can. Otherwise, if you just want to listen with your ears, you can. But you know it's getting close to the end of the 9 weeks. This is week 8. Next week's week 9. That means we're at the end of the 9 weeks. Yeah, we're almost there. So let's talk about your grade and make sure we're on the same page. So, you know, I grade everything. So I've got a ton of 30, 60, 10 grades. I do. But the 60s, I only have the set 6. The others I have over what I need. But for the 60, I only have 6 grades. 60%. There are 6 grades. And I want to make sure we're on the same page of what those 6 grades are. So if you're missing one of them, you could fix that immediately because you think I enjoy people waiting till next Wednesday through Friday. I do not. Please, for the love, fix it immediately. Okay, so we had a Unit 1 test, which was on classifying numbers, or like number system. It was on numbers and like number systems, stuff like that. I'm pretty confident everyone in here had that one. We had a Unit 2 test and it was on solving equations and inequalities. But I think everyone's had that now. No, I think, well, she's not here. I think Caitlin hadn't finished it. She hadn't finished one of them at least. Maybe it was that. Or, so notice how I skipped number 2. So originally we took a solving equations quiz. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So originally we took a solving equations quiz, and when we took it, I said that was going in the 30. But everyone did so well on it, and something needs to go to the 60 to put us at the 6, rather than me give you some random project here at the last minute that you and I don't want to do. So since everyone did well on it, I'm changing that to the 60. Now, if you look at your grade, 'cause I did that like during lunch today. So you look at your grade. I don't think it impacted you much at all. But if it made a big difference on your grade, you need to come see me and we'll see what we can do to fix that, because I made that adjustment today. It was top 10 in the 30. It's now top 10 in the 60. Okay, and then, you know, God bless me, I haven't graded your Unit 3 test, which was logic. So if, let's say, Forrest missed that test and he hasn't made it up yet, at the moment he doesn't have the 0 for it, but eventually homecoming week will end and I will get my act together and he will have that 0 in the 6% category. So he doesn't want that to happen. He wants to fix it before it happens. Okay, and then you're like, Miss Compton, that puts you at 4. Where's 5 and 6? So did I give you strips? I didn't even give you strips. Oh my goodness, who am I? Well, when I give you strips for 2 points,
Can I pass them out?
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. For 2 points, you can tell me one of those 2 missing grades. What is one of the 2? You don't know the second one. You're not psychic, but you know one of them. You're that good. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We've been doing them this whole time. You know it's coming. Ma'am. Nope. Ma'am.
Ma'am?
You. Yes, Brittany.
The logic one,
No.
the one on the pink paper. No, it's not. On that pink paper, when you had asked what was your favorite part of this.
Yes, that's this one.
Oh.
Yes, Lauren.
Wait, is it the workshop?
Yeah. And you can have 2 points. It's the math workshop test. And I am even going to put a date on that. I'm going to say that is next Tuesday. Because I don't like things on Monday like you. I'm going to say it's next Tuesday. That way, if someone, God forbid, is absent, surely they can get it together and make it up by Friday if we put it on Tuesday. So, the math workshop test, originally, did I say whether or not you could have your math workshops for the math workshop test?
Yeah. Just kidding, no.
You didn't say so.
I said no, you couldn't.
Oh.
And if this gets back to algebra 2 with trig, I will be mad because I'm not changing my stance with them. But with discrete, because you are my discrete babies, and I guess I love you the most or something, I don't know, I will let you have out your math workshops during the math workshop test.
When is it?
It is next Tuesday. So that means Sarah can have out, we've done, we just got, or, we still haven't started the 8th one we've received, but we have 8 pieces that look like this. So Lauren could, since I'm telling her today, because she's on it, she could go ahead and start studying for that next Tuesday using her math workshops. Because if you think I'm going to put that exact problem on there, you're wrong. I'm going to put one similar to it, but not that exact one. Not going to happen.
That's what I was just saying.
So it's going to be similar to, but so if Brittany doesn't actually understand how to factor, or if Brittany doesn't actually understand how to reduce radicals, I don't see how thousands of examples are going to help her. So I'm not really sure even having the paper out is going to help you. But if it makes you feel better, you can have out your math workshops during the math workshop test. Oh, and if it makes you feel even better, next Monday, I will pull out all my old math workshops, and we will look through them, and I will say specifically, like, from week 3, the third one, that looks really important, and I will try to give you specifics of which ones to study. But my goodness, Andrew is not a blonde, so he realizes, no offense to the blondes, you know what I mean. So he realizes, hey, we've done a lot of the factoring ones. There's going to be that kind of a problem. We've done a lot of the simplifying radicals one. There's going to be one like that. Like, he's smart. He kind of already can process what's going to be on it. I probably could let him make it. Okay, if you were... No, it's not true for anybody in this room. Never mind. I was going to say, if you hadn't been with us all semester, I need you to write that on the top of your math workshop test when we take it. But everyone in the room has been here, or at least registered in this class, this entire 9 weeks. Ma'am. Well, yeah, that. But so if you weren't here yesterday, you could ask a friend or something to make sure you get it filled in. But I had like a girl who transferred in week 5, so obviously week 1 through 4, it's kind of hard to hold her accountable for that. So, okay. So that's, yeah, so let's go back to that list. So the 5th thing on that list is a math workshop test. The last thing, it's going to be really short, but a little intimidating because it involves what we started discussing yesterday. We're going to have a truth table test. And now it's going to be short. And when I say short, I mean short. I'm thinking 5 questions. And we're going to say it's 50 points. So like 10 points per question. That's what I'm thinking. If I change my mind on that, it's because I'm trying to help Misha's grade. It's not me trying to hurt anybody if I change my mind on that. But in my mind, 5 questions, 10 points each, so 50 points. And I would like for that to be next Tuesday, but I'm not going to cry if that ends up being next Wednesday instead. But my goal is next Tuesday.
Wait, what will that be? Like, what kind of stuff?
That's a great question, which is why you're not going to open your textbook and Forrest is going to hand me his. So give me your textbook. Ugh. Okay. Open to, let's see, we did 2.1.1 yesterday. And Forrest has an answer wrong, so I want to fix it, and I want to make sure everyone else has the right answer anyway. So 7 and 8 from 2.1.1. Okay. Shouldn't his list be different on number 7?
Yes.
What should it be?
ABC.
Okay, so if you had the wrong, and I was worried about people 7 and 8. So on 7, you should have ABC, and on 8, you should just have A. And let's talk about why, in case you or your group were confused on that yesterday. So let's go back to those pictures. Okay. If we say the phrase or, then as long as we have on a top hat or glasses or both, we're okay. But if we say and, then we must have on both items. So the only one that's true is the one where we have on both items. Okay, were there any other confusions about and or yesterday? Okay, well then we're going to start 2.1.2 today. Our goal is number 22. and I want to help you out a little before we start. So we're getting lazy. Happens to the best of us. You know how math people are. We stop writing stuff out because we get real lazy. So instead of writing out the word and instead of writing out the word or, we start using an operator or a symbol to represent this. So for and, it starts to look like that, and for or, it starts to look like a V. And yeah, they look super duper similar. So it's terribly annoying that the symbols look similar, and one is and one is or. So how do I keep them straight? The and looks like an A. And looks like an A. If you put a line through that, it would look like an A. And the V, I think of versus. So verse, V-E-R-S-U-S. I can spell today, V-E-R-S-U-S. So if I'm going to fight Jim, me or Jim's going to win. Jim's over there now. Me or Jim's going to win. Or it's me versus Jim is how we would say it. That's how I think of it. So I keep relating it to a fight. Okay, so those are our two operators. And there are more operators to come, like a not symbol. You did this in geometry. It was just a long time ago. Okay, so Lauren was asking, so what's this quiz on next Tuesday? And the quiz next Tuesday would be something that looks like a truth table. So let's go down to number 18, and we'll get our first taste of a truth table. So here is an example of a truth table. Now, why would we want to make a table? So far, we've not needed one. Why would we want to make a table? What can a table do for us? Okay, so, and it's going to help us just keep up with our options. So, for instance, when you flip a coin, what are your options? Okay, what if you flip 2 coins? What are your options? Okay, you could be 2 heads, 2 tails, but what else could you be? Heads and tails, or tails and heads. So you can see how, and then if there were 3 coins, heads, 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 tails, 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 like your heads, tails, tails, or all tails. You can see how there's lots that we could list out. So we might want a table to help us keep track of this. So this table is helping us keep a list. So for instance, maybe they're both tails. Maybe this one's tails and this one's heads. Maybe this one's heads and this one's tails. Or maybe they're both heads. So it's really just giving us all options. Both true, one false, one true, or both false. So all the truth table is giving us a list of all the options, all our outcomes.
So if we write it in a different order,
Oh, and that is in your group can get 2 points for that. That is the best question I've heard all day. I always, when it's 2 things going on, just 2 coins, I always do TTFF, TFTF. Like, I have that memorized in my brain, the way you have PEMDAS. Like, it's always TTFF, TFTF. So it's good to know the order. Now, if you're a logical person, Blake really liked the logic unit. He's a logical person. He probably would have come up with this on his own. However, he might not put FF at the bottom. Let's say he put FF on the second line down. That's fine as long as he has all the options. But he's making my life more complicated because now I'm having to spend a little more time on his paper. I just need Blake to really think through in life if he really wants me to stare at his paper any longer than I normally would. My answer to that, if a teacher's going to stare at my paper longer than normal, is that's a bad idea. I'm going to make sure I do TTFF, TFTF. But if you want to be rebellious and not go in this exact order when you list off your options, I can figure it out, and I'm pretty good. Okay, are there any questions about 18? Okay, well then I overwhelmed 5th period because I tried to show them what the table would look like when I had 3 options, like on number 23, and they look like they wanted to cry. So we're not going to go there today. Today we're going to just look at what if our table had 2 options. And if you get to 22, call it a day and we'll do something else. Okay, are there any questions? Let me see if I can freeze this on the screen and give Jim back his book. Okay, then your goal is 22. I would love to give all group 5 again. Please be as productive as you were yesterday. Hey, Blake.
Can I have my phone over?
I don't remember which one you were, the dirty one or the not dirty one.
Verbally, the not dirty one.
It has a weird mark on it, but yeah.
So what do we do with the last two?
Yes.
You never asked me anything. Of course you can. What do we do with the last two?
So we have to think through all the options of if P is true and Q is true. Is P and Q true? If P or true, and they're both true, and it's an or. Yeah, that's good.
Friday?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She's scared.
Uh-huh. So notice how that one is mostly false, because it's part of the answer. You only have that one question true for the And Brittany,
What you doing?
those will be two of the 5 questions next week. So we'll look at you.
We usually do it at
You might want to explain it as part of the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, G film. Yeah.
And then there's this road that goes back here, there's like that little red building right here. Just drive straight on that road, and there's like this little.
Oh, is it like almost in that neighborhood?
Oh,
Two
two
T's
false.
make a T.
Yeah,
A T and an L makes an L.
Oh,
For an and,
son of a
For
gun.
and, but for an or.
For an or, as long as one or the other.
So it still be true.
Yeah.
You can add the or.
A true story.
And that has both of them.
Yeah, we're
So
trying to
it's
get
both of them.
around, but.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
People are like,
If you're stuck on the table waiting on, I'll gladly help you. Yeah, if my ball flies in that floor again, I'm
What time
gonna
it
start.
I don't know, they took it from high school.
Okay, thank you. We'll make sure Blake gets it back. You can throw it to Blake, so he can have it.
You do?
That's fine, thank you.
Oh,